and the fields for the three-point and dunk contests, they are set, star-studded as a matter of fact. The three-point contest headlined by Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton. Meanwhile, the dunk contest, my favorite, comprised of Kenyon Martin Jr., Mac McClung, Trey Murphy III, and Jericho Sims. All right, Shannon, not everybody feels like I do, though. Do you think it's time to eliminate the dunk contest?
As much as I hate to say it, Skip, I think it is. Because I remember the time when the guys that were participating in the dunk contest was actually participants in the game. Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Terrence Stanberg, Larry Nance, Tom Chambers. Skip, those guys were in, Dr. J, David, those guys were actually in the game. And they were the biggest stars. Skip, I mean, and no disrespect, and guys, don't take this as any disrespect, but I'm not so sure how many people know the guys that's in the dunk contest.
No, they just don't.
And now they got Mac. No, Skip, they got Mac McClung. Skip, he's on a two-way contract with the Sixers.
Mac McClung?
Skip, what am I?
I don't know Mac McClung. I'm sorry.
I know the days are over when you got Vince Carter and T-Mac going head-to-head. They're actually in the game. But the All-Star game hadn't been really good since we got Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. Yeah. But what happened to the dunk contest, Skip, you know what really killed it? Guys were missing 10 dunks and winning the dunk contest. Skip, you can't miss 10 dunks. I mean, after you missed look, it's not like guys didn't miss dunks back in the 80s and 90s because they did. But, Skip, they didn't miss 5. They didn't miss 6. And then after you miss 2, Skip, I'm done. I'm just like, oh, please, just let the time just help it run out so somebody else can go. And that's what it is. I mean, and now because the game is shifted away from the dunk, everybody's excited about what, Skip? The three-point competition.
Are they?
Because now that's where you're getting the Dame Lillards. That's where you're getting the Steph Currys. Yep. That's where you're getting the biggest and brightest stars. A lot of the guys that's in the game. Look at Dame Lillard in the game, Jason Tatum in the game, Halliburton in the game, Lauri Markkanen in the game, Julius Randle in the game. Okay, dunk contest. Not in the game, not in the game, not in the game, probably not going to ever make the game. Skip, that's where we are. And it's sad that this is what it is, but I honestly, Skip, I really don't even care to watch the dunk contest anymore. I'll be waiting for the three-point competition or the skills challenge or something like that. But the dunk contest is laughable now. Guys miss 4 or 5 dunks, and somehow they get it on their 7th dunk and they get a 48 or they get a 50. You can't get anything above a 10 if you don't miss 5 or 6 dunks, Skip. So, and I know, Skip, but if they did away with the Pro Bowl, damn it, they can do away with the dunk contest.
Correct.
They can do away with the dunk contest.
I am with you. At the very least, they should reverse the order because when the dunk contest is now last, it's such an anticlimax.
No, it definitely shouldn't be last. It should go before the skills challenge.
Okay. Obviously, we all, once upon a time, lived for the dunk contest. And to your point, all the stars did it. Dr. J did it twice. Michael Jordan did it 3 times. Kobe did it. Vince Carter did it. I can go, just name the greats.
But Skip, the thing is, when they did it, Skip, you got to understand that Dr. J was going up against Dominique Wilkins, who was going up against a lot of these, but everybody was in the actual game. Skip, these guys are not in the game.
Yep. Yesterday, when we finished the show with the 2K video of Lil Wayne dunking over Kawhi Leonard, I brought up the fact, or maybe you did, I can't remember who brought it, but I was there that day, Dominique versus Spud Webb. You were comparing Lil Wayne to Spud Webb.
Yes.
He was about 5'6".
Yeah.
And it was just legendary because I was close with Spud, who grew up and lived in Dallas. And Wayne texted me right after that and said, for him, that was a top 5 sports moment of his lifetime, was Little Spud. Fair and square beating Dominique, his Atlanta teammate, in a dunk contest. And it was fair and square. He just out-dunked him.
But Skip, I remember Spud when he was at NC State. And he dunked, and I'm like, that's once in a... But Skip, the dunks he was doing. You're 5'6", you're not supposed to be able to jump that high. You're not supposed to have a damn near 50-inch vertical and to be able to do the things. And I know it was some, Skip, Dominique was great, but to see a man his size to pull off those dunks, Dominique knew he was in trouble. he just was.
Did. I mean, what judge isn't going to just lose it over that,
He'd get 50 after 50 after 50.
That is correct. So to me, the first turning point came in 2011 when Blake Griffin exploded upon the NBA scene by leaping over the hood of was it a Kia? I think it was.
Yeah, who was sponsored in the NBA. Yes.
He leaps over the hood of a car and dunks.
Right.
And it wasn't that extraordinary that you could do it. It didn't take that much of a leap.
Right.
But it was just the thought of he just leaped over the hood of a car and dunked.
Yes.
It stopped the show. It really was the beginning of the end of the dunk contest because how are you going to top that?
Right.
And next you're going to do what?
Yeah.
So every year they try to come up with new gimmicks. We're going to jump over.
And then it became the age of the props.
Yeah.
Who had the best?
Dwight Howard had props.
Yeah.
In fact, now Ernestine, she used to be the biggest fan of the dunk contest. Dwight Howard once went up with a cupcake. He had a cupcake up, and I can't remember what he did with it, but he set it up by the rim, on the rim, and went up and took it.
No, he slapped it. No, Gerald Green, the one that blew the candle out and dunked the basketball.
Well,
Gerald Green
somehow she always calls Dwight Howard the cupcake man. I don't know. But the point is, you're just, at some point, you can't come up with enough props.
Yes.
And it always hurt my heart that LeBron wouldn't do the dunk contest, but I think he came in an age where he looked at it and said, I can't compete with that. And as you always pointed out, he's a game dunker, not a contest dunker.
Right.
If he'd done it, he would have won. It'd be the Spud Webb syndrome. It's LeBron freaking James. He's just going to win the dunk contest, but he didn't want to hurt his sneaker selling credibility by maybe having a bad night where he couldn't top that with some kind of proper trick.
Right.
And losing the dunk contest, Nike's saying, well, don't even risk it. Why would you risk it? Because LeBron, probably with a little advice from Maverick and Rich Paul, is saying, wait a second, I'm seeing the beginning of the end, and I don't know that I need to participate in this. So at one point he promised, okay, next year I'm going to do it, and then he didn't do it. Told Cheryl Miller that one night on TNT and said, next year I will participate, and he didn't. Okay. The point is, that was sort of the death of the slam dunk contest, because if LeBron won't do it, then nobody's of any magnitude is going to do the dunk contest. So I'm with you. It becomes cringeworthy. It becomes painful to watch. And this could be the all-time hit bottom dunk contest. I know who KJ Martin is, of the Rockets, just because of his father, Kenyon. And I know Trey Murphy of the Pelicans because he's a good player. But I don't think of him as a slam dunker. I just don't. And Jericho Sims, I'm sorry, I kind of know the name, but I don't know if I know the face. And that's it? You got 4 people in the dunk contest that shouldn't qualify at all, and that's Shaden Sharp. I don't know if is he a relative of yours?
No, he's not the relative.
Okay.
But he should be.
He can slam it.
Yes.
He had one the other night against the Lakers. Whew.
He had one against Kuzma.
That's true. And even he pulled out. It's just a couple of weeks ago, he pulled out. I don't know. Okay, so he might capture my imagination a little bit. No. And then back to your point about the three-point contest. It has become my favorite event, Ernestine's favorite event. We're on the edge of our seats because it's pretty simple. You can't use a prop because there are no props. It's pretty simple. The ball's either going to go in the basket or not. You don't need a judge. You don't need to critique how he shot it.
The creativity of it. I don't care about the shot.
It doesn't matter. Does it swish or not?
Tyrese Halliburton might win the dunk contest, and he might have the ugliest shot of the three-point contestant.
All right.
But did it go in?
Did it go in? Okay. And so I'm looking at the roster you just read. Will I watch Dame shoot three? Yes. Jason Tatum? Sure I will. Kevin Huerter, he's a very good shooter. I'm intrigued. Tyler Hero. Does he not have some guts?
Yes.
You know, like, will he not be out there talking some trash, jacking it up? Yep, he will. You mentioned Halliburton, Buddy Hield. You think he's one of the best shooters because you want him to be a Laker. Right?
Marketing can shoot it.
Okay.
We're going to see But Skip, think about it.
They Julius got like Randle was like a late ad. I don't even think of him as a three-point shooter.
Skip, six of the 9 guys are actually in the game.
Okay, great. And?
That's what, and Skip, you know what the NBA should do? So I tell you what, it's a winner take all. Dame, Steph, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Winner take all.
As the
three-point contest.
Three-point shooter?
Yeah, for $1 million.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm there. I'm watching. That's a great idea. We could even take it up one level higher.
You got to, and something like you said, you want to see LeBron. I don't know if KD has. I don't know. Maybe it slipped my mind. But I would like to see KD in the three-point competition.
Steph has definitely.
Oh yeah, Steph has won it twice.
Yeah. Okay.
But the big guns, guys that you know that actually shoot the three.
And back in the day, your favorite player growing up, Larry Bird. But it's almost like an iconic pose. Yeah. He's got his finger up in the air after he releases a shot from the corner.
Skip, he never took his sweat jacket off.
No, he didn't take his. It's almost like Deion running the 40 at the combine, right? It's just legendary.
But he got the tape around. He just hold his finger up because he know it's good. It's over.
And I heard this from somebody who was in the room before that three-point shootout because it was in Dallas. And
that was 87 too, wasn't it?
86.
86.
Yeah. And he turned to I think there were 4 or 5 other competitors and said, I can't repeat the word, but he said, which one of you is going to finish second?
Yeah.
And I heard from a guy in the room that he said exactly that, and he meant it.
Right.
And he went right out. And when he released the shot from the corner of the final ball, he held his finger up in the air.
Because he already knew it was good. Okay. But that's what I'm saying, Skip. But it's a... Like I said, Skip, Michael Jordan was the biggest star, one of the biggest stars. He's in the game. Larry Bird was one of the biggest stars in the 80s. He's in the three-point competition. And that's what it was, the Dr. J's. And you had all these guys that were participating in the game actually doing the dunk contest, actually doing the three-point competition. Now, obviously, Craig Hodges didn't make an all-star game.
No.
But he was one of... When you're looking at, shooters like that, okay, obviously, some of the better shooters not going to make the All-Star game. They're specialists. That's what he was. He was a specialist.
He was.
But it's just the three-point competition should close the night out.
Yeah.
The dunk competition should start the night out. And then let the skills challenge. But then some of the guys might shoot themselves out from the skill challenge. I don't know if Dame, some of the guys might be participating in the skills challenge.
Yeah. The final problem with the dunk contest is it requires preparation because you need to practice your stunt dunks, right? If you're going to leap over 3 of your friends, you better practice. You rehearse it, right?
Yes.
And the other problem is because they were allowing for so long so many missed dunks.
Right.
Who was it? Little Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson missed. It was endless. Okay. But the point was, it started taking too much out of their bodies on what's supposed to be a time off.
Yeah.
Because to propel yourself that many times in the air and get that high and come down that hard, if you do it enough times, you're going to be exhausted and your body's going to get banged up from it, right?
That's why Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon were so good because they was nailing the dunks, and so they weren't exerting a whole lot of extra energy to try to replicate the dunk again. They weren't doing it 2 or 3 times. They was nailing it on the first go round, and it was in that, Skip, you really hated it. Like, damn. How is someone going to actually lose? Because it's just hard for me to believe the dunks that Aaron Gordon did, that he's never won a dunk contest.
Okay. But now we got the subjectivity of the judges. And sometimes it got so bad with the judges, I'm like, what are you thinking?
What were you watching?
Yeah, what just happened? You're doing what?
Yeah, Skip, like I said, you missed 5 dunks, Skip. You can't. How you get anything in the 30s? You can't get above a 20 after you done missed 3 or 4 dunks.
No, it's just... It's a thing that came and it went.
Yeah.
And it has outlived its time. Yeah. And to me, I love your idea. I wouldn't mind that the grand finales be the annual three-point shootout and then maybe a special superstar three-point shootout for $1 million.
Right.
Man, you want to talk about numbers? I will bet you that TNT would be record ratings.
Steph, KD, Dame, Clay.
There you go.
The top 5, Steph gets grandfathered in. So every year Steph gets to compete whether or not he's at shooting 40% or 25%.
Yep.
Steph gets grandfathered in. But Steph, Dame, Clay, KD, and one other person. We'll let the fans...
Whoever's the hottest at the moment.
And for $1 million.
I'm with you. I'll be watching, but I'm also going to be cringing on this one.
I don't know, Skip. You might be on your own on the dunk contest. I might see the highlights, but I'm definitely watching the three-point competition.
I'm with you.
I'll be watching both. And the big change I'd love to see